Hey everyone, it is Paul Xavier here, and going to go live to talk about what a content retainer is here today in the free Facebook group. So, I know this is just a quick video. Ian, let me know once we're good. Cool. So, this is just going to be a quick video to kind of cover that topic of we've had a lot of people sort of wondering what are content retainers, how are they different from commercial campaigns, how are they different from just selling a one-off video project, and with content retainers, how can you start actually offering them in your video production company today and get your first client as quickly as possible. So I'm going to share my screen here. You should be able to see it in just a second. Let me know if you can. And basically, we're going to discuss today, and I'll have a little bit of time left over at the end of this for Q&A, how to value, price content retainers, and really what is the value of one. So when you're in business, the most important thing to understand is not how to compare yourself to the other video production companies out there. That's what everybody else does. They look at one person and say, he's charging this for this level of quality or this many hours of shooting, so I can charge this. Right? But at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter to your client. What matters to them is, are they going to achieve what they want from your solution to their particular problem? Because that's what business is about. It's about adding value. So to understand what a content retainer is, it's basically, let's pull on back here and find the right slide. A content retainer is an arrangement with a client where you produce video content for them on an ongoing monthly basis that helps them grow and engage their audience. Okay? It's pretty simple. Now, there's a lot of advantages to content retainers versus project-to-project videos, which is number one, the client's going to receive a ton more value from working with you over the long term to get more content out there for them. More videos, more marketing videos, more testimonials, more interviews, more problem solution videos, more demonstration videos than they would if you just went in and shot one commercial for them, right? Because if you think about it, how valuable is one commercial? Well, sure, one commercial can run profitably for years. I've got many that are still running that I shot years ago. But would it be better if you had that one commercial plus, 24 other ones because you produced one video or one commercial every single month? Absolutely, that would be better because it gives you the capability to really get your messaging fine-tuned for different people in that target audience, right? Maybe not everyone wants to, just use, iPhones for calling. Some people are more interested in FaceTime functionality. Some people are more interested in using it for internet access and scrolling on Instagram. So there's different advantages and benefits to each product and service, and by having multiple videos, you can highlight those different benefits, talk about the challenges related to each of those. And that's where content retainers become really, really valuable. So with that being said, kind of moving back over here to how to value and price your content retainers. This is actually one of the training modules in Next Level Creators here. The key is determining, well, what does the client want? What's their desire? And how does this content retainer solve that particular problem? Okay? So with this, you're looking at what is the audience that the client wants to engage with, grow, and monetize. And how we would define that is you always want to bring it back to some form of measurable, right? When you're going and doing your business and setting up offers, what I see a lot of filmmakers and video production people make the mistake of doing is they just say, hey, I'll create you this video with this style, and it's going to take me this much time, and they're just talking about themselves. They're not talking about what that video is going to do for the client. So instead of talking about that, ask questions about, well, who does this video for? How are you going to get it in front of them, right? What does your current audience size look like on YouTube? What do you want it to be in the next 12 months? Okay? What that's doing for us is it's creating a gap. And that's where sales really comes into play. If there's no gap, if there's no current situation and desired situation for your potential client, they're not going to perceive any value there, which justifies the cost of investing in what you're offering, right? So with that gap, how big is their existing audience? How big do they want it to be? What is the current engagement rate? So if they've got 10,000 followers, but they post a video and only 2 people see it, that is a dreadful engagement rate. What do they want that engagement rate to be? Maybe they've got 10,000 followers, they post a video, and 1,000 people see it, but they want it to be 2,000. They want it to be 20% instead of 10%. Okay, so how do we create content that's more engaging? How do we post it at the right time to where we get more viewers for it? And this is a problem you're able to start solving for your clients. Okay, hopefully this is making sense, but this is the whole value add for content retainers. And then if you're planning to use content retainers the same way we do with commercial campaigns where you're using them to get your client a return on investment, how much money are they making from their existing audience and the engagement they currently have? If we start adding more videos into the pool, how is that going to get them from how much money they're making now to where they actually want to be? From perhaps making $100,000 a month, they're $1 million company, to using this content retainer, tying it into all of their current systems, like maybe they've got a media buying team, they're doing Facebook, Google, YouTube ads. How do we add more content to that so we can start generating them $2-3 million a year with your assistance? Okay? And one of the really important things about content retainers, once you understand the value, is not necessarily you going out and shooting. It's not how many videos you're producing, but it's actually how much you're growing their audience, how much the engagement is increasing, how many sales you're helping them bring in. You have the right tracking and you're paying attention to those things so you can show your client that growth. Then it all comes down to, well, how you position yourself and your offer. And as creative entrepreneurs, one of the most important things to understand in business is that you're selling your time, okay? You're selling it with content retainers in specific. You are delivering a service for money. So yes, you're selling time. You're a service provider. And it's our minimum price point that a client hires us at, which will determine and define you and your business, not the maximum that we charge or could potentially charge. So the way I like to put it, if you're one of the standard video production companies out there, you're doing real estate, weddings, then you're doing some fashion stuff, you're doing music videos, and your clients are coming to you at all different spectrums of price point in each of those different categories. It is the minimum that you charge for the one type of service and offer that you don't even want to do that defines your business, because now you're losing those hours doing that type of service, and you're not putting that time towards getting the types of clients you really want and doing the types of projects you really want, okay? So you have to define your minimum price point. That's what will define your career in video production, okay? That's what you're going to default to. You're going to default to saying yes to people if they hit that minimum threshold in terms of income they're going to promise you. So when we look at how to value and price content retainers here, this is kind of the synopsis of what I was talking about. Your client, the business owner, has to see value in growing their audience, increasing their engagement, and then essentially wanting to make money from that, wanting fame, wanting more connection with their audience. If they have those core human drives, then they're going to want a content retainer. If they don't have those, you move on to the next person because that's not the right fit, right? One of my favorite things is everyone talks about sales and closing and like all the different techniques for doing it. It's all a bunch of bullshit if the person doesn't actually want what you have to offer. So you have to understand those core drives that move people to what you do. So first off, find people who want fame, fortune, a bigger audience, more engagement with their audience, more revenue and growth in their company. And that's who's going to be perfect for this. Then, to actually value and price your retainer, the key is defining that minimum price point that you're willing to work for, okay? You can always offer more if the client sees more value in it, but overall, you need to know what your minimum is so you don't go below it, and then get yourself into a situation where you're working for peanuts, which in this industry, let's be honest, most people do because they don't have these simple business fundamentals in place. So step one is to define the types of videos you would produce, how you would package them together to best engage your client's audience on an ongoing basis. And our clients right now, we've got I'll show you behind the scenes of our community in a moment, but people are selling $40,000 content retainers, $100,000 content retainers per year. And the way they do it is you package and systemize your workflow to take as little time as possible to achieve the end result of growing the audience and the engagement. So a specific package would look like this, for instance. You could do 4 hours of production hours per month, or maybe it's a full day, 8-hour day of production, and you're going to produce 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos, however many you agree to with that particular client, and you have a limit on what kinds of videos there'll be in the time frame for those videos. So let's say you're doing 2 videos a month, and each month they're going to get a interview testimonial and a mini documentary. Or each month they can switch it up. Each month they can do an edutainment video where it's educational, entertaining, or they could do more of a problem solution commercial, right? And you're going to do multiple of those for different products that they have in their business. And then you package those together with the number of production hours and a monthly retainer to actually do that. So let's say that you've got a retainer for $5,000 a month. You are going to shoot for 8 hours that month, and you're going to produce them 4 videos. So they get 1 video delivered on a weekly basis that goes out on their YouTube channel, their Instagram. So it's diced up for both. It's got the right aspect ratio in terms of placement size and content, so that way it hooks and gets their attention and gets people into their business or their audience, and it's actually delivering value. Now, that is essentially it for a content retainer, okay? That's all you're doing. The beauty behind this is when you position things this way, as long as you are tracking the end deliverable, so if the client wants to grow their audience, you need to be tracking, well, where are we at when we're starting? And when we start launching these videos, when we start doing organic methods for getting the videos seen by people, by their audience, and then by more people, right? By posting them in groups, by showing them to people, then all of a sudden we can start to track that number. How much is the audience growing? How many new followers do we get? What's our engagement like on this video versus the past ones, right? And we start to create something that's of actual value to that audience. They start attracting more and more people to them, right? When you give things away, people are always attracted to that. So that's the beauty of content retainers. They're like creating magnets for businesses. You create a magnet where you build this audience, people get really engaged, they get a lot of value, they love it, and then you can just grow and grow from there, okay? So the secret to really making content retainers work is being very simple, very efficient, and very streamlined with your workflow. How we show our clients to do that, and you can basically mimic this exact same thing, is we use what's called a value map. A value map is our way of essentially planning. You can just use Google Calendar for this if you don't have the value map we give our clients and next level creators to plan out what the next 3 or 6 months will look like with this particular content retainer. So planning, here's when we're going to shoot for this month. Here's when these videos will be released to you and published on your pages, or you can just send them to the client and have their social team publish it for them, depending on the type of business you're working with. And so the whole idea behind this is be very diligent. Don't be the filmmaker or cinematographer who's on call for the business owner who just shows up all the time when they call. Hey, I need someone. I've got an interview I want to do tomorrow. It's like, that's not what they're hiring you for. They're hiring you to run a content schedule. And with that comes the responsibility for you to be able to tell your client no and to tell them that they need to work around your schedule because that's what they're paying for. They're paying for you to put together a schedule that actually works for them to achieve the audience growth. They're not just paying for some hours, okay? They're not just paying for you to go out with your ARRI Red camera or your 1DX Mark II. They don't care about that stuff. They want the growth. And to get that, you are the trusted advisor helping them make that happen, okay? These content retainer value maps, they really help with this because they just allow you to see the weeks, days, and months on a really easy view. And then you just go and plan it, and then you just execute it. You stay on top of it, okay? The other really important thing is I always recommend, if you're going to do a content retainer, do it for no less than 6 to 12 months. If a client comes in and tries to hire you and they want you to just do it for 1 month to see how it's going to go, they're not thinking long term, and they're probably going to fire you after a month because you're most likely not going to get them a huge growth in audience after a month. It takes time, right? Especially when you're doing things organically with time rather than paid ads. It's going to take you a significant amount of time to create videos, figure out what the market actually wants, learn how to create those hooks and attention getters to get people in. So you have to understand that. And then once you start getting them results, seeing that organic growth happening because people are they're watching the videos, or they're consistently consuming content and they're sharing it and it's growing, then your client's going to be happy. But that's going to take a couple months typically with a content retainer. With commercial campaigns where you're running paid ads, you can get clients results in a week. You can get them a return on investment in the first 14 days. Happens all the time. With content retainers, it takes a lot longer for that stuff to sort of pick up traction, right? So you also have to be aware you're going to set that expectation with your client. And the workflow, I'm just showing it to you here. I won't really walk you through it, but we just do things the same way you do any other video production project, right? You have your pre-production. The only major difference is you schedule and plan your shoots for months in advance. The way I recommend doing it, really, and some of our clients are doing it, is they'll do a weekend shoot, and that's for 3 months worth of videos. So they'll shoot for just 2 full days. They'll have a month's worth of content produced, and then they just release that for the client on that timeline, right? On the timeline they built for them. So then post-production comes into play. You release the videos after getting feedback from your client, and you're good to go, my friend. So that's really content retainers in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed this quick little live stream. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. So, see, we've got a couple. You're awesome, brother. Thank you. I like that. And someone says right now at this moment, your maximum price point should be your minimum. So that's probably true. But if you guys have any questions about content retainers, feel free to ask them while I'm on here for another couple minutes until we get ready for our Q&A tonight with our clients. But overall, content retainers are relatively simple. That's how you create value with them. In Next Level Creators, of course, we give our clients a number of tools and templates and just specific workflow trainings on how to run them for clients, the different types of videos that work really well, how to get organic growth leveraging these types of retainers. But that's entirely up to you on what you want to do next. So, all right, well, I see that we have about 10 people on, but I don't have any questions on here right now. So I'm going to finish this Q&A right now. So, Ian, you don't see anything, do you?
No questions yet.
All right, awesome. All right, everyone. I'm going to start doing more little live streams like this. We've just bought some tools here at headquarters to where now we can do this kind of thing in the Facebook group. So once every couple weeks or so, or once every week, I'm not sure what our time frame on it will be. Keep an eye on this group. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel because we'll be doing live streams there as well. And feel free to chime in, ask questions on what you actually want to know about.
You did get one question just now.
Okay.
From Aaron. It's, what's your ideal number of clients?
Aaron, our ideal number of clients is less than 10. So if you're running commercial campaigns or content retainers, the huge mistake so many filmmakers and video production companies make is they try to get more to make more. The reality is you should look for better, not more, right? It's the same thing as like doing things. A lot of people think that to be more successful, they need to do more, right? I take the approach that I don't want to do more, I want to do better. So when we think through things that way, a lot of people say, well, I could do YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, right? What is that approach? That's doing more. Whereas an alternative viewpoint to that would be, I want to do Facebook ads better and produce the same return on investment I would get with, doing tons of different channels and learning the back end of all of them and how to run that. So when you're working with clients, Malcolm Gladwell said it really well in this book called The Tipping Point, where he talks about communication and how it breaks down after a certain number of people. When you're working with any more than 7 people, so a group of 8 in total, one of your primary jobs is now going to be communication. And if communication is something that you really enjoy, you enjoy management, and you don't want to be shooting, or you don't want to be running the campaigns, you would rather be just talking to a bunch of people, sure, go get 20 clients, go get 30. But you're going to see a negative feedback loop happen in your business where the results will start to deteriorate. They'll start to get worse. Because you're just spending time communicating with people instead of actually delivering them results. I would rather work with less people, get them better results, grow their businesses, and thus, in turn, grow my business. So that's kind of our approach to what we do. It's the same thing with like online courses, right? We run Next Level Creators. In terms of video production and filmmaking and running a business, we're definitely the most expensive people out there. That's because we don't want to work with a ton of people. We want to work with less people, have a better relationship with them, and actually help them get to multiple 6 and 7 figures instead of working with thousands of people and never talking to anyone. So inverse thought process there, but it ends up making us a lot more money. Our clients get far better results than any other program out there, which, I mean, you could check that on our website. And it's just a different way of thinking, right? So that's how we think and kind of work through how many people you should work with when you're running commercial campaigns or content retainers. Really, that 5 to 10 clients is the sweet spot we've seen with our clients who have the most freedom in their lives, and they have incredible incomes, and they're just overall happy with what they're doing. Looks like we got a couple other questions here, so let's go to, you seem so successful, why so few viewers? I would say because this was unscheduled, and who knows? Not a lot of people online right now, and maybe I'm just not that successful at live streaming on Facebook. Then we have, if you could use only one method for getting a client on retainer, what method would you use? I would use outreach. Basically, outreach is where you just pick up the phone and call your hot or warm market. Your hot market are people who know you, past clients, friends, family, people you know that you can actually add value to and that already know, like, and trust you. That's the fastest way to go out there and offer a content retainer like this. Second, we'll be going to cold market. Cold market are people who have no idea who you are, okay? And I would do the same thing. But if you're going to people who don't know who you are, don't make the mistake of being like all the other scammers, or not scammers, but spammers out there, right? Most people think that with marketing, they should just like read some spam emails that they've gotten over the past month or two and then rework that for themselves and then send that to people and they think it's going to work for their business. If it didn't work on you, how can you expect it to work for you? That's my thought process. So instead of thinking through things that way, I would recommend creating a method where you're getting in front of at least a certain number of people on a platform every single day. So let's just use LinkedIn as an example. If you're going to go to LinkedIn, you're going to connect with 50 new people a day in your target market, business owners of a certain type. It could be whoever you want to work with. It could be artists on Instagram. I don't care. Find a platform where you can continuously add people to your platform, continue to grow it. Then, once they accept your connection request, send them something that's free value. Because reciprocity is one of the most valuable tools in marketing. People like people who actually add real value to their lives instead of just say they're great, right? I think we're all pretty tired of people just talking about how great they are. How their Lamborghinis in the driveway, they read 1,000 books a day. No one cares about you, or no one cares about me. No one cares about any of that stuff. They don't care about the cameras you're using, none of it. What they do care about is themselves, their current and desired situation in life, and how you might be able to help them get there. So create some form of value that you can send them that's going to help them in their life today without asking for really anything. Just have a call to action that says if you'd like more stuff, or if you want to learn more, if you're interested in potentially working with us now that we've delivered this, here's where to reach out to me. And let's schedule a call and let's have a chat. That'd be it. Really simple, easy way. Start setting up meetings and getting deals. That's really the fastest way to do it. That's how a lot of our clients are able to join Next Level Creators and get a $10,000 client within the first 7 days. It's because they go straight after that hot and warm market. It's what we tell them to do. And then when we go to cold, it takes a little bit more planning. It definitely takes stronger marketing message and sales chops, but it's very, very good when you start doing it the way that when you're implementing a proven model like that. You just have to know that you need new people coming in, and then you need a way to convert those people once you start getting them coming in every single day. All right, guys. It looks like that's it for questions. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. Au revoir. Sayonara. We'll be talking soon. And if you have any other questions, feel free to post them here in the community. All right, guys. Bye now.